Ivan, I'd ordinarily start with you. Nathan, can I just get an update? How's your shoulder going?
Yeah, it's all good. Just a little knock at the end, but ended up playing out the next 2 sets and felt fine, so all sweet.
Any problems lifting? Any?
No, all good.
You've played your worst game before, right, Nathan?
Yeah. It was always going to be one of those things that, it probably wasn't amazing, 100%, but definitely felt confident in it to go out on the field and play. And again, tonight was fine. Wasn't even thinking about it. And then even after that little incident, played the next 2 sets and was sweet. So.
Ivan, any concerns for you when you see him make the tackle and then stay down for a few moments?
Yeah, a little bit. But as Nat said, the fact that he kept playing, made a couple of tackles after that. We just took him off, obviously, just because we could. So, yeah.
What about your hand? Nathan, you had some sort of guard on it. I think there was a suggestion on the TV that you might have even broken it, or.
No, it's not broken. It's not broken. Just again, a little bump. It's just that time of year, and it was all good.
Ivan, 5th grand final in a row. What are the thoughts after a performance like that?
Yeah, so happy to be back in the grand final. It's so hard to get there. It's a bit surreal actually, but yeah, just really happy. I thought tonight's performance was, it wasn't our best, but I thought defensively it was just about our best this year in certainly many respects, which gives us a lot of confidence. Sometimes coming off the bye, we changed a couple of things mid game as well, which may not have helped, but all in all, I felt that we controlled the game pretty well, but we just gave them too many opportunities at various times. But I thought, for the most part, we defended them really well. I thought the only time they scored, we should have scored in 2 sets before that. It was an obstruction try, which was a terrible decision, and that gives me a lot of anxiety around next week if that bunker official, I think it was Chris Butler. I shouldn't say that, but that was wrong, and it's been happening all year, and they shouldn't have even scored. We shouldn't have been down there. That was the one time we sort of sorted our stuff out, ran the play perfectly. Ran to his inside shoulder. He actually, Siffer actually initiated contact. So that worries me about next week. If that same bunker official, either he or someone else, is going off the same script, I'm concerned.
I think after the Roosters game in round 4 or 5, I asked you about the obstruction. You said to ask you later in the year. It's later in the year. I'm cashing it in.
It's a good
memory. Can you elaborate?
That's a good memory. I don't look. I like to think that I don't talk about referees or bunkers or things that we can't control. But when Wayne Bennett, the best of all time, came out and said after their game against Newcastle a couple of weeks ago, and he was 100% right. He said that someone's going to suffer in the finals, and we got through it obviously, but it was terrible. Has no understanding of what we're actually trying to do, the play we're trying to run, when it's run properly. And the guy, Siffer got taken off straight after because I think Fitzy knew how fatigued he was. That pretty much says it all. I know we got through the game tonight, but next week, the biggest game of the year, I'd hate for something like that to happen.
You're not a coach who usually does this, but will we see clarity during the week about the obstruction calls and interpretations before the grand final next week?
No. They've got to work it out. It's a big call for Graham. I don't know if Graham makes the selection on who's in the bunker, but whoever's in there needs to understand what we're trying to do. There's a lot of referees not refereeing next week. Some of the best in the game. So surely someone can work that out.
Nathan, you were part of that play. What was your take on that no try?
Yeah, I didn't really understand, because essentially Garnes is trying to run inside Siffer, and then Siffer initiates contact on his inside shoulder, which bumps him into the person inside him. So and then we score in the corner. Like I just didn't really understand. And I sort of asked the ref, and he said that they adjudicated it as outside shoulder, but like, what can Guns do if he gets tackled on an inside shoulder?
Well, I mean, just on the tries that you did score, like, there's a lot of grand final experience in this squad. Paul Alamonte's not one of those guys. How much confidence do you take out of that performance? He scores 2 tonight. I think almost forced a line dropout in that second half. Does that performance give you confidence going into the biggest game of his career next week?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was Paul's best game. Like all-round performance. He's had a great season. You know, he came in into our squad. Obviously, we lost Critter. It was a huge loss for us, and he was replaced by his replacement. We lost him too, Taylor May. So, yeah, all of a sudden, Paulie was the man, and just done a great job this year. He's come back from a broken arm as well. Tonight, he was outstanding. I thought. Thought Liam Henry did a great job too. He's another guy who'd be playing his first grand final. Matt Eisenhuth has been a bit of a staple in our squad as his first prelim too. So. You know, that's the thing. Like, we've made a few grand finals, but it's a new team and new circumstances, and I don't care how many you've played. It's an honour to be able to, be only one of 2 teams standing at the end of the year, and yeah, we're all very happy about it.
Ivan, this is your 5th grand final in a row. First one was against Melbourne. After that grand final, you said you learnt a lot about grand final week and grand finals from the match. You're playing the Storm again. Is that something that you sort of look forward to, that you get the opportunity to play them again?
Yeah, we definitely learned a fair bit that night. A little bit off Melbourne, but a little bit just the occasion and yeah, the week and everything. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good matchup. I think they will go in as favourites, and rightfully so, particularly after their game last night. They've beaten us twice this year, so yeah, it's so exciting, and I think we probably have been the best 2 teams this year. So, but they're going to be more than a handful. So, but that's what you expect on grand final day.
So you're the 3-time premiers, but you think you're the underdogs?
I don't do the betting market, but I don't know.
Ivan, do you reckon this has been one of the more challenging years? Like you mentioned, the turmoil changes to your backline personnel. Like, of all those years you managed to get to the grand final, is this one be the hardest, especially injuries as well, I guess?
Yeah, it's hard to compare, but it's definitely been challenging. I feel like our depth, you just can't have, as good a depth when you're consistently losing not only high-class players, but you're losing players below that as well. So our depth has been very young this year. With obviously, Nat's been out for a fair bit of it. Had the same Origin, contingent as usual. Yeah, it's been a very challenging year, but yeah. So just to be able to, make it into a grand final, yeah, I'm really proud of everyone at the club. It's just, like I don't want to, just can't make light of it. That just to make a grand final is a huge effort by so many people. With so much work that goes into it behind the scenes, and yeah, I'm just very happy for our club as a whole.
Ivan, I know you love to have the same players you had in 2020 still playing now. Like, the salary cap didn't exist, and you could just keep that group. But does it give you a bit of pride how different your team is now as opposed to 4 years ago when you make that first grand final, and sort of how much you guys have had to embrace that challenge and sort of become a steelier side because of it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I don't like any. When you lose players, particularly after you go through so much, such good times and experience what we have. Like it's the bonds you have, will be there forever. But at the end of the day, we are a development club, and we've got to keep. If you're going to develop players, can't have the same guys all the time. So yeah, it sort of shows that we're doing some things, well. Yeah, we just want to be a consistent, reliable team, and it's a never-ending challenge, and we'll keep looking to do that again next week.
Ivan, Fitzy used the word dynasty to describe what you're doing. What does that word mean to you? Is it part of what you're trying to achieve? Does it ever get discussed?
Do you want to answer your question?
Yeah, no, you've got it.
Yeah, well, no, it doesn't get discussed. I don't. Yeah, I get what a dynasty is, but I don't know the actual. I don't know the definition. We just want to be. We want to be consistent. We want to be a team that our community is proud of. We want to win. As I said, it's a never-ending goal and challenge, and we're up against a club next week that have set the benchmark for that, and a club that I've said before, we're inspired by and we look up to, and yeah, so be a good matchup next week.
It feels strange not to ask actually about Nathan's performance. Kicks the 40-20, pretty similar to the one in the grand final. Throws I think 3 try assists tonight. The try-saving tackle. Just a few words on how he performed tonight.
Yeah, I was getting a little bit emotional. I think I'm so proud of him. Like just what he's been through this year, and just the work he's done behind the scenes. No one will ever know. Just to be able to come back and just play so well, not just me, but everyone in our club is obviously so happy that he's back and is part of our team, and just to be able to come up with just about every big play at the right time tonight is what it's all about. So yeah, full credit to that.
How proud are you, Nathan? Mitch Kenny revealed you're off to Warrington next year, so you've got 1 game left apparently. But just as Ivan said, for everything you've gone through, like this year, 2 hamstrings, shoulder, to produce a performance like that, has it hit you like what you've been able to achieve?
Not really. I think it's just, honestly, I just see it as my job, and I want to be able to contribute to the team. And when you're out injured, it feels like in a way you can't, and you feel bad for that. And you just look at guys like Yowie and Dill and the whole group, really, Romy, a lot of them, the leaders, they've been holding it down the whole year, and just about played every game. So it's almost like I want to repay them in the big games and put my best foot forward. And as a leader as well, that's what it's all about. It's about performing under pressure and being there in the big moments. And I wouldn't say that I'm proud of myself as such. I'm just proud to be a part of this group, and I love every moment of it.
I know you touched on the obstruction call. Do you have any thoughts on the Talakai not being sin-bin for that late hit on Romy?
I don't want to turn this into all about refs, but there's some different decisions. I mean, there's a blatant trip, which used to be a send-off back when I was young, and the Talakai one was like that was just I don't know. What do you?
No one cares what I think, Ivan.
You know what? I'm not that interested in not having 13 guys on the field together. I think that's not a bad thing for the game. Obviously, I've made my point about the obstruction, but whatever.
This year, NRL on 9 is your one-stop shop for all footy.
That's right, Freddie. Not about the highlights. Action. 7 days a week.
Billy and Gus podcast, get that on your drive on the way home. Immortal Behaviour. Grab a seat on the couch for that. And, of course, my favourite, Freddie in the Own.
The best footy brains, the biggest games.
Don't trust the algorithm. Subscribe to NRL on 9 and get all your entertainment there.